The Bears and Eltham's incredible win streak move themselves to a second consecutive Division 2 Grand Final. The Panthers, they did it the hard way, but the top of the table Eltham side are here and they are ready to win their first flag in 20 years. Senior men's flag, I should say. But nonetheless, we are in for a very exciting game of football, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be epic, and I think we've all got a good feeling about what's going to come here. Welcome to those listening live on your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM, and for those tuning in live on the NFNL Facebook page, a very good afternoon to all those watching as well. We hope you enjoy the coverage, and I think you will, because I've got some very talented men beside me to help me get through this afternoon's game. Jared Gardner, Josh Ward, Zach Sharp, and Giacomo Bruno will be live throughout the coverage this afternoon. Boys, I said it was going to be epic. I have a really good feeling about what's going to come up today. Two really talented sides. Two sides that have been the runners-up in the last two grand finals here in MC Labour Division 2. And it'll be exciting to see which way they go about it. Boys, what do we make of this one?
It's going to be a fantastic matchup. As you said, Nick, the two sides who have been the previous two runners-up in this competition. Eltham losing to Lowell Plenty in a thrilling grand final in 2018, and then Banyule going down to Whittlesea in 2019. Pretty clearly the two best sides in this competition this season, as Banyule run out onto the ground to get their team photo taken. Josh Ward, it's a matchup that we've all been waiting for, and most of us probably expect it to happen on this final day of the competition. What do you make of today's game?
It is a very exciting clash, and yeah, welcome to our listeners and viewers out there. It's a big one because these two, the iron is hot for both these sides to push up into Melbourne Greyhounds Division 1 next season, and both will be looking to strike. Well, mainly for Banyule, it would complete what has been a meteoric rise since they've come across from the NFNL to the NFNL in 2015, won the 2017 Division 3 Premiership, and now they're one step closer once more to going into Division 1 and winning their second Premiership in Division 2 as well. And for Eltham as well, it'd be massive because start of the season they'd lost a couple of players and we weren't expecting too much for them, but their youth, it's really stood out throughout the whole year, and it could hold them in good stead if they go up into Melbourne Greyhounds Division 1 in the future. And it would feel right that they're up there as well, just because they're one of the more historic clubs. They've been around since the beginning of in the old Diamond Valley Footy League days, and the iron is hot for both sides, and I reckon we're going to be in for an absolute cracker. The first meeting which we saw was a bit of a lopsided affair, but the second one and the third one as well were two absolute classics out at Beverley Road and Epping Recreation Reserve, and I have no doubt we're going to be in for another epic. Yeah, definitely. It's two fantastic sides, and as you alluded to, two sides that really deserve to be playing Division 1 footy. They've got the talent on their list. They've got cohesion within their groups, great coaching staff on both sides, and they just have the ability to play at that top level and have the ability to make an impact going straight up into Melbourne Greyhounds Division 1 next season. It's a fantastic day here at Preston City Oval. The sun is out. There's a few clouds around. We're hoping those stay away. The sun is shining at the moment. There does look like a slight breeze going towards the city end, as there usually is here at Preston City Oval, so might be a crucial coin toss to win ahead of this game. If you're looking along these two team lists, maybe picking out two or three players from each side, you expect to have a massive impact today, Josh. Oh, there's plenty of talent on both sides. Going to go to the Banyule side of things first up. In ruck, you've got Tim Martin. He's put together quite a phenomenal season and a couple of seasons down at the Bears, 39 games, and he's probably been in the best for pretty much most of them. He's just been dominant in ruck, giving his midfielders first juiced, and yeah, those midfielders are seriously talented, led by, I reckon, Riley Loden. Ruben Blackmore is really talented, but Riley Loden is just a consistent performer inside that midfield. He has that VFL experience with the Richmond side last year, and he's a star of this side. And up forward as well, there are two really great players. James Kairoos, he's had a phenomenal first season, 49 goals in only 16 games, just simply phenomenal. And then you've got Jack Langford. What a superstar he is. 249 senior goals as well. He's kicked 64 goals this season. They're a formidable duo. The Eltham side of things, there's equally plenty of talent, experience in Anton Woods as well. He has that experience at VFL level with Williamstown, and he's come across to Eltham since 2015 and has done really well on the wing in midfield or up forward. You've got Daniel Owen, who was meant to be captain of the Panthers under-19 side last year as well, and he's just put together such a phenomenal season. 60 goals in 19 games to be the Panthers' leading goal kicker. And well, Finbar Maley as well. I'm a big fan of his. He's got that basketball background. I think he's so athletic. He's just got such a great leap, and he's taken Division 2 by storm this year. All of those players are going to be set for massive days today.
Yeah, there's a few young names there, a few more experienced names. Riley Lurton's the one I've got my eye on. Jack Langford as well. He's one that's played a lot of Division 1 footy with McLeod and had a big impact on this ground in games. So I'm excited to see him as players and coaches move to their positions to line up for the Australian National Anthem ahead of the MC Labor Division 2 Grand Final. Eltham lining up towards the market end, Banyule towards the city end. As final players take their positions, we'll head down to Nicholas Sacco on ground level, who will commence the proceedings.
The Northern Football Netball League would like to welcome you to Preston City Oval for the 2022 MC Labor Division 2 Grand Final between Banyule and Eltham. The Grand Final is being held on the traditional land of the Wurundjeri Willem people, and on behalf of the Northern Football Netball League, I would like to acknowledge them as the traditional owners. I would also like to pay my respects to the Wurundjeri elders past and present, and to the elders of other Aboriginal peoples who may be here today. Would you please join the players, coaches and umpires and be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem to be performed by Samantha Smith from Bianca Fenn School of Music.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
We get the captains to the trophy for the coin toss. Thank you. Banyule win the toss and will kick to the market end.
So Devon McDonald winning the toss and kicking to the market end. Zach Sharp, we might head down to you on ground level. Is there any wind to speak of? How are the conditions down there?
Conditions are grand final type conditions. They look really, really good. And there is a bit of a wind, but it's not going to either scoring end. It's just going out to the outer wing, not the broadcast wing. So I guess, you know, it sucks to be on the broadcast side today because I don't think we'll be seeing much of the ball up front. However, I was just trying to check here. I was just trying to scruff my feet to see if it's a bit slippery where players will fall I don't know, by just unluckiness, and I don't think so. So I think we're going to get a really clean game and a really good one, a really good 2 grand final. It sounds fantastic. We might stay with you and we'll go for a tip and a best on ground selection. Who you got for today? I think Eltham. I think they're planning their revenge all week this week, and I feel like Danny Owen might kick a bag as a small forward today. And Josh, who have you got for best on? Well, people listening in on Plenty Valley FM, the NFNL podcast, would know I backed the Panthers to get the win. 5-point margin. It is going to be possibly the last kick that wins it.
Finbar Maley. I reckon that ruck battle, it's going to decide who wins that, and whoever has the big impact, I think they'll be best on ground, and it'll go a long way for either side to win.
It definitely will. I'm going to go a bit different. I'm going to go Banyule. I think something weird happens on grand final day. The underdogs seemingly comes to the floor and takes advantage. So I think Banyule might get up today, and I'm going to go for Riley Lowton as best on ground. He's an absolute star, and great to see him on the big stage. Nicholas Sacco, what do you got?
He's had a great season, Riley Lowton. I'm going for the minor premiers, boys. I think the last few weeks have been perfect preparation for them. Daniel Horsfield, he's the best on ground for me. We're just about ready to get underway. MC Labour Division 2 Grand Final, live on your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM, and streaming live on the NFNL Facebook page. Big crowd here at Preston City Oval. We're just about ready to get the bounce started. It's been a great Division 2 competition. Let's see how it finishes, boys. Siren sounds, we're underway.
Umpire holds the ball aloft in the middle of Preston City Oval. Now we are underway. Tim Martin stays down. He's going to get the tap. He's going to get the tap down to a teammate. And it will be Ruben Blackmore getting the first possession for Banyule. Going to go long inside forward 50. Langford's there. Is the mark taken? I think it's going to be wrapped up.
I think that's K. Roos.
Oh, it has been. That. So K. Roos will have the first shot on goal for the Bears. And looking to give them the perfect start to this grand final.
What an excitement machine that James K. Roos has been this year. Burst onto the scene, kicked 9 goals in his first 2 games, including the winner against Thomastown in round 2 at Beverley Road Oval. This would be the perfect start for him and his side. He'll kick it from just inside 50. The distance isn't going to get there. It's a very poor kick, wide, out of bounds on the full. And I guess a few nerves trickling in, grand final. Definitely a first grand final for him, as were a few in the team, as they go short to Luke Wichinga in the back pocket for the Panthers. And a short ball again. Finds the go-captain Darcy Valance. He's only 15 metres out from his defensive goal. Now called to play on. He's going to have to go down the outer side to a pack of players. There's a couple that form, and then out the back was a good spore from Xavier Mitchell. The ball goes out of bounds for a throw-in. We're on the outer wing, early stages of the 2022 MC Labour Division 2 Grand Final.
Shaking the nerves out is James K. Roos. It's understandable. A 19-year-old in his first senior season, but he's kicked 49 goals in his 16 senior games, so I'm sure he'll have a massive impact on today as the umpire throws the ball back in. It's going to be Martin, but it's going to be Finbar Maley getting the tap, and he's going to rove his own work. He's going to kick forward now to a teammate, to a long contest. A punch there from the Banyule defender is good, but it's sharked by the Eltham player and kicked inside forward 50. Now, in this contest is Matthew Byron. Can't take the mark, and he's just pushed off it. Great work done by the Banyule defender in Kai Davies. Byron goes again, just shrugs off an opponent, and he's called for holding the ball. A great tackle there by Bailey Nelson. And the Bears will rebound outside of defensive 50.
Only his 11th game, Bailey Nielsen.
That's a terrific effort there from against a much bigger body in Matthew Byron.
And that kick goes awkwardly, but it lands for Viscontin and then goes back towards the near side, and it finds Danny of the Arbon variety. Don't let this guy get on the pace, and he's going to start. He's already took on his own man, gets through, goes down the line on the near side to the jeers of the crowd. It went through the hands of Wichinga. Out the back is Edwards. He can run onto this one. The kick's not going to get there. Back on defence for the Panthers is Sinclair, but the boundary line beats all comers. And we'll have a boundary throwing deep inside the Bears forward 50. They have had a couple of little opportunities early. They look to be on just a touch, of course. Have had the week off, defeating Eltham in the second semi-final at Epping. And in their second consecutive Division 2 Grand Final, ball gets tossed back in. Langford will do the ruck work over Maley. Langford just grabbed it, nearly got the snap around. Maley intercepting it. His handball wasn't great, but he did get some purchase on it. It's Bill Shaw. Now an opportunity off 1 foot for Jacob Mitchell. It's high, it's long, but it's not straight. And it's actually marked on the line by the co-captain Valance, who's, well, was going to be called to play on, but the umpires are just going to check to see if that ball went over the goal line. And it is indeed a point.
Yeah, I don't know. I think because he took the mark, went back behind through the behind post, and then came in through the goal post. I think that one counts as a behind. So Banyule with the first score of the day, and is a minor one as Eltham come out of defence and kick a long ball out towards the centre wing. It's picked up there by a teammate in Josh Merkel, but it just trickles towards the boundary line, and the umpire will throw it back in.
What have you noticed early here, Josh Ward? A couple of key matchups around the ground?
There is a few. Kai Davies has the job on Matthew Byron. That's going to be a tough challenge in that, the big body. And Daniel Horsfield as well. Got Ruben Blackmore more, but it's been a really open start and thoroughly enjoying it. Hopefully it stays like that for the rest of this game.
Martin got the tap inside 50. No one able to pick this ball up cleanly. Eventually it snapped around the body again. It's high towards the goal line, and again it's another behind for the Bears. They move to 2 behinds. Eltham are yet to score. We're 4 1/4 minutes into this first term of the decider, as the Panthers will clear it out of their defensive goal square. They again go down wide towards the outer side. It landed for Sinclair. I don't think he was expecting to grab that one, but he takes the mark. He's 55 out from his own defensive goal. Lane Sinclair has had to play some ruck in his career, but has found a spot down back, goes down wide. It was a good leap and punch forward from Viscontin. Ball just bobbling around at the moment. The Bears have the numbers, and they'll get this ball moving forward again, and it's intercepted. Darcy Valance has had a big say early to co-captain. Handball's inboard. Wasn't a great one there for O'Sullivan. Didn't pick it up in time. And Banyule swarmed. Ruben Blackmore. He then got tackled. Was able to get it out into space. Langford. Umpires called for a free kick. It's going back to the Panthers. And they can reset off half-back thanks to Kyle O'Sullivan.
So O'Sullivan now goes down the wing, finds Montanaro. He handballs over to a teammate now. A bit of run. Touches the ball on the ground. Decides not to go with the normal bounce. His kick is a bit of a helicopter inside forward 50. Byron gets on the end of it. He's tackled straight away. His handball finds Owen. Gets back to Byron. He's tackled and held without it. And it's actually Josh Merkel who might have this one. It is. And he will have Eltham's first shot on goal and the best chance of the day so far.
Tim Martin straight away with his hands on his face. Was disappointed to give away that one. Doesn't want to concede the first goal of the grand final, but it is in good hands if you're an Eltham fan listening or watching. Josh Merkel, only had 11 goals this year, but has been a proven goal kicker in this competition. Man on the mark, 25 out, almost directly in front. This for the first of the decider. Comes in, and it's swinging, it's there. First blood to the Panthers. They move to 1 straight 6. Banyule 2 behind, 6 minutes into the first term.
That's a really good start. That's a really good finish there from Josh Merkel. Banyule had done most of the attack in the last couple of minutes, but a good response there from the Panthers. Merkel's going to play a big role today, I reckon. It's a pretty young forward line for Eltham with the likes of Daniel Owen. You've got Matthew Byron, who has a bit of experience there, but it's a really young forward line, so I reckon Merkel's experience is going to be crucial for them.
He looked good in the second semi-final as well. Was one of Eltham's most potent goal kickers.
As the ball is thrown back up in the middle of the ground, neither ruckman able to get good purchase on it. There's a swinging kick there. I think that was Maley, but it's going to go to Banyule. It's going to find Riley Lowton. He kicks inside forward 50. The Eltham defender in Sinclair is there, gets a tap over the top. Now Eltham looking to clear the kick down the wing. It is intercepted by Xavier Mitchell of Banyule. Mark isn't paid. It's probably unlucky. No, it has been paid eventually. So Mitchell now will look to reload for Banyule. Goes inside forward 50. Langford's there. He's got an opponent on him. Gets one hand to it. He's going to find a teammate in Blackmore. Moore snaps towards goal, but the free kick has been paid to Langford for the hold.
Umpire was looking to see if advantage was going to be paid there, but
Yeah.
it hadn't. So it means it's going to go back now to Jack Langford. And if you're looking for a response, more than likely you'll find it from this man, the leading goal kicker in the MC Labour Division 2 competition. It's been pivotal up forward. And this for his 250th senior goal. And just the one that his side need to get things moving. They had a slow start against the Eagles in 2019. They would not afford to make the same mistake here. Langford comes in, man on the mark, 30 out. He liked that one straight off the boot. And the Bears get on the board. 1-2-8. Banyule up from a 1 straight 6, 8 minutes into the first quarter.
Good goal there from Jack Langford. He's, first couple of minutes, he's been pretty quiet, but he's set to have a big role today as well. In another, young forward line and teaming up with James Kairoos, I reckon he'll play a big role in keeping Kairoos grounded as well. And what a moment, 250 career goals. He's been phenomenal since coming across from McLeod to 114 goals in 51 Banyule games, which is simply phenomenal.
He's a fantastic player, is Jack Langford, as the ball is thrown up again in the middle. Barton gets the second tap down and just gets it forward for Banyule once again. Diving onto it is a teammate, and now going forward for Banyule. Josh Page is going to get onto it, handballs over to a teammate, and now a kick towards goal. Banyule might have 2 in a minute. No, it's just hung out to the right-hand side. So the Bears doing a lot of attacking early, but only have 1 goal, 3 to show for it. they lead Eltham by 3 points. The Panthers 1 straight 6.
Was Aidan Danny there with the shot on goal, was able to get past his opponent. Again, it's the pace of those two brothers that has just been exceptional all year, and it's going to be tough to stop from an Eltham point of view as Valance has it on the outer side. Got a handball over to a teammate. Valance continued to run, so he picks it up, but then he didn't grab it correctly, and he turned the ball over. So now the Bears go inside 50, and Edwards is all on his own inside 50. And a costly mistake from Valance, who has had a lot of it early. But now Michael Edwards, who has had a terrific month. 8 goals in 13 games, but a lot of those goals have come in the last couple of weeks. 3 goals against Lower Plenty in the qualifying final, and then 2 against the Panthers in the second semi. So he knows how to kick, and Michael Edwards will come in. 45-degree angle, it's there! And the Bears quickly have 2. 2-3-15 Banyule. Eltham 1 straight 6. We are close to 10 minutes in the opening term.
Sorry, Joe. This is the start that Banyule would have wanted. They've done most of the attacking, and they need to press home their advantage.
Yeah, exactly. It's a deserved scoreline when you kind of look at this game as a whole with how it's been played so far. 10 minutes in, and I reckon Eltham have gone inside 50 2 or 3 times, and they've got 1 goal out of it, which was a deserved one. But Banyule have done a lot of the attacking. Now have 2-3-15 to show for it, and a great start to this MC Labour Division 2 grand final for the Bears as the ball comes back into the middle now. Martin gets a tap down to Lowton. He grabs it with one arm, but he's set upon straight away by his opponent. The umpire will call for a second stoppage right in the middle of Preston City Oval.
Montanaro on Nyoji, that's one to look out for. Lowton found some space, but it didn't get to him. Horsfield managed to get a handball out, and then going back in traffic there was Weatherall. Was able to get a kick out to a one-on-one. Tough for Woods to grab. Going in hard there, though, was Bell Chambers. He couldn't get rid of it correctly, and he's been pinged. Holding the footy. Banyule again reset. They are on top at the moment in this grand final. Short kick in ball to Carafa. Was wondering if he'd go to long sleeves today. He's usually known to go for it, but gone for the short sleeve this afternoon as he sends it high towards inside 50. Langford got there, but K. Roos was in front. And the young star takes another mark. They'll be hoping for a better set shot than he's won 10 minutes earlier.
Hopefully he got the nerves out on that first one, and this one's on a slightly better angle than that one in the first minute or so. So a big kick for James K. Roos and a big kick for Banyule. Can they get their third on the board in just a matter of minutes? As we've said, he's kicked 49 in 16 games this year, so this is to bring up the half ton. As he comes in, he's going to kick from just inside 50. That's a much better kick than his first one. And it's just hung out to the right-hand side.
Fooled me.
It fooled, I think everyone was expecting that one to go through, but it just might have swung late as K. Roos now has a behind, and Banyule moved to 2-4-16, leading Eltham 1 straight 6.
I know he hasn't kicked the goal yet, but he's looking very dangerous at the moment, James K. Roos. You know when he gets on a roll, he can deliver. We'll see what he can do on this occasion as Weatherall returning into this side after coming back from injury. First game since round 12, the co-captain. Goes down the line just outside 50. It spills and then landed there for Lachlan Turner. Got a handball inside 50. Spills to Carafa on the outer side. Centres the ball and it works. And the Bears are looking on today. Michael Edwards. No, sorry, that's Turner. Lachlan Turner. So he's made the move quickly inside 50. And almost directly in front. Eltham could have their third, but more importantly, they could have their 8th shot on goal here. Or 7th, rather.
So Turner now coming in, basically no angle to speak of. And starts that one right, but does get it through eventually. The umpire really had to work for it. But it is through for a goal, and Banyule have their third of the day. They move to 3 goals for 22. Eltham 1 straight 6. And as you said, they're just piling on the pressure and now getting some reward on the scoreboard.
Zach Sharp down at ground level. Zach, we saw Lane Sinclair coming off at the moment for the Panthers. Is he looking okay at the moment?
Yeah, he looks all right. It was wobbling. It was hobbling off. I think it was a collision with a Banyule player where they were front on with each other, and he must have got a corky to the right quad. He got it strapped pretty quickly, then had a bit of a run through along the boundary, and he's back on now. So he looks fine to go, but it is one to watch if it gets worse.
There's already a lot of pressure on this Eltham defence. They don't need anyone going down at this early stage of the grand final. The Panthers trail by 16 points. Maley was just able to get a tap. It spelt forward of the pack. Maley having to do his own groundwork. Was brought to ground by Blackmore Moore. We'll have a stoppage inside the centre square. So looks like Kai Davies doing some ruck work here for the Bears while Martin has a break. Maley did get a hand on it, but didn't work for anyone, although the Panthers will get the free kick for a high contact. Glasgow over to Weatherall. Short spearing ball. Maley didn't see it coming. Had to get a handball out to space. Worked well. Now an opportunity here for McCormick. He's got space to turn around. McCormick doesn't have too many options now. Got through his opponent beautifully, and Danny now sends a high ball. Glasgow's under this. Minahan's under this. Take your pick. James Minahan takes the grab. Stole it off his own teammate in the end.
There could have been a catastrophic error for Eltham if they had spoiled themselves, and Banyule could have gone down the other end. Luckily, Minahan able to hold on to that ball.
What a move as well from Jason McCormick. The dance shoes on the far side sets up Minahan for a big chance.
Fresh off some games for Northern Knights, Jason McCormick, as Minahan comes in and gets a much-needed one for the minor premiers. The 21-year-old kicks his 10th goal of the season. And Eltham moved to 2 straight 12. Banyule 3-4-22 at 14.5 into the first turn.
Well, this is just great footy. It's high scoring, a lot of scoring opportunities. Eltham have taken their ones with both hands when they've gone inside forward 50. I reckon that's only their 3rd or 4th inside 50 for the afternoon so far. And they've got 2 goals to show for it. Banyule, 7 scoring shots, probably more like 8 or 9 shots on goal as a whole. So it's lovely to see, and a great day so far at Preston City Oval.
Back in the middle, it's Davies that got the tap, who's looking here for Mitchell, who got set upon quickly by Glasgow. Umpire will call for a stoppage. We're right in the middle of Preston City Oval here. It's a 10-point advantage to the Bears early in this grand final. Hellsfield got a tap onto it from the ruck. Handball out to space, was looking for Horsfield, intercepted by Yodji, who sends it down the line. Bouncing ball inside 50, it fooled Sinclair. Going in hard was K. Roos. Got a handball out to Danny. Danny from 40 metres out. Excellent football from Banyule. And they get their 4th of the grand final. 4-4-28. Eltham 2 straight 12.
The youth of both sides, they're both looking so exciting today. Just that setup there from Kairos, and then the finish there as well from, I think that was Aiden Danny. That was a really good finish there, and this is a really good start. It's a bit more, it's a very high scoring. Hopefully it continues as well. And I was interested as well who's gotten that second ruck duties for Eltham. It's Declan Ayres, and it's going to be interesting to see how he goes.
So it will be Ayres up against Kai Davies for Banyule in this ruck contest. There's a free kick paid straight away, and it will go Banyule's way. And it will be to Ruben Blackmore, one of the stars of this Banyule side. He's going to launch inside forward 50. The kick isn't a good one, just tumbles inside, but does find a teammate there. Now kick inside 50 from Yodji. Let's tumble it towards the boundary line. Edwards is there and just paddles it over the boundary line for a throw in. So we're in front of the scoreboard here as Banyule look to get another shot on goal.
So Kai Yodji first came back since round 16. Had an injury we thought might have ruled him out for the rest of the season. He's able to make the strong recovery. Now he's back and he's very pivotal to this side, and has had a bit of it early as spinning around there was Carafa. Got a handball out wide. Blackmore more from the boundary. There's plenty of players on the goal line, but Sinclair didn't read it best, and it forced the Panthers to rush it through for a behind. And Banyule are really turning the heat up in this grand final. 4-5-29 the Bears. Eltham are 2 straight 12 as we tick towards 17 minutes now in this grand final. So the Panthers need to find a response here as they exit out of their defensive goal square. Weatherall goes out wide. Minahan came in and took a good grab. Called to play on now and has an opportunity to go inboard. It's a good kick. It made it hard work for Sullivan, but he dropped the mark. Out the back though was Merkel. Got a handball inboard. Montanaro sees what he likes in McCormick. Goes out wide. McCormick slipped. It might fall out the back for him anyway. Laying some strong pressure was Danny. But apparently pushed him in the back. Umpire calls play on. Goes out wide. The mark is taken by Yodji. Near side. Getting some coaching tips from Brett Stanton, who's doing the running today for the Bears. Yodji has it in his defensive half. Goes down the line. Broadcast side. Now to pack forms. Langford's at the back. Got hands onto it. Couldn't complete the mark. He's given away the free kick in the process. It's going back to Bailey Taglieri.
That's already such an exciting matchup, is Danny up against McCormick. It's just 2 young players just going at it, and great to see what both of them produce throughout today as Eltham looking to go forward now. Mark taken, defensive side of centre wing, going to play on, gets a shepherd from a teammate and a long kick down the ground, going to go towards 50. Merkel's there, gets just pushed under the ball, but all legally. Nick Pisconton does well, takes the mark, goes with the switch and finds a teammate on the outer side there, and it is Carafa. Now he's going to find a teammate further up the grounds. That one's going to be Edwards, takes the mark well, and just wheels back around onto his left boot. A scrubbing kick, goes inside forward 50. Lovell's there, K-Roos is there, snaps towards goal, and just another one has gone through for a behind. So 4-6-30 for Banyule now. Eltham 2 straight 12. James K-Roos has got 2 behinds and 1 out on the full. That goal is going to come.
It's the most exciting 2 behind game we've seen so far. I think James K-Roos looking threatening. Eltham have to put a clamp on him. Weatherall goes out wide. Maley takes a chest mark. Handball inboard, finds Bailey Taglieri. Here goes towards the outer side. 1-on-1 over the head of McDonald and his opponent. It's tubbed forward. Went straight to Woods, who was set upon by 2 Banyule defenders. And the umpire will call for a ball up. We're on the outer side. Forward half here for Eltham.
About the first time I've seen Anton Woods today. He's going to have a massive impact.
He's
for
had
Eltham.
a great few weeks, Anton Woods, as he's been getting on the score sheet as well. So impressive from him as Blackmore Moore just swings it around the body, goes down the line, and the boundary line will beat both Weatherall and Carafa. Will have a ball up.
And Anton Woods, I believe he was a best on ground in a representative game. Might have been on this
right.
ground
Yep.
a couple of years ago now. So he's one of the stars of this competition as a whole, and looking to have a big impact today as Martin gets a tap down, but it only goes as far as an Eltham opponent. His handball over the top can only find Nick Main, but it's just going back and forth here as Eltham now looking to go forward. Handball smothered. Driving on top of it is a Panthers player there, and now a kick out from this contest for the Panthers. Looking to go inside forward 50. The handball to McCormick, turned onto his right boot and goes inside forward 50, but a strong mark taken there, and it was Bailey Nielsen on the last line of defence for Banyule.
Nielsen has it in his back pocket, wants to go towards the outer side. Lovell's on his own, found some space and took a really good mark just inside the boundary line. Mitch Lovell centres it a little bit more. Yogi had to talk to his teammate, but still marked the football. Now to a running Tim Martin. Maybe not the best handball for the big fella. Was able to get a short one inside to Carafa. Couldn't quite pick it up. Ball tumbling around Martin. Still able to get a handball in. Montanaro there as well. And Eltham can clear. They've got the numbers in their defensive 50. Horsfield has it. Almost true centre half back. Goes into the middle of the ground. 1-on-1. Xavier Mitchell had hands on that one. Couldn't complete it. McCormick does well to keep that ball in front of him. Has no help. And that means Banyule can pick it up. Now it's Mitchell of the Jacob variety. Sends it out wide and off hands from Edwards. Not paid the mark. It's punched forward into space. Furlong doesn't know where to go. Decides to go inboard. Horsfield had to get rid of it quickly. Just did towards Owen. He landed in front of him and Owen takes a nice mark. 55 out from goal. Daniel Owen sees what he likes in Byron, and Byron on the second grab takes the mark. And he's going to be important for this Eltham side. Knows how to win a flag, of course, part of that 2019 Penton Hill team. And on a 45-degree angle, 30 metres out, you can get the Panthers their third of the afternoon.
Really good kick there from Daniel Owen. Last time I saw him, he was wearing the purple boots just so everyone could see him. I'm disappointed he's not, but that's a really good mark as well from Byron. Like you said, Nick, he's going to play a big role. He's one of those experienced players in that forward line, and he's kicked 113 goals in his 51 senior games. This is a big chance for him.
So Byron now on the 45-degree angle. We're going to have to kick this one from about 35 metres out. Just starts off the side of the boot and stays to the right-hand side of goals. Goes through behind. So Eltham's first blemish of the day. They move to 2 goals, 1-13. Banyule 4-6-30. We've just ticked over 22 minutes in this MC Labour Division 2 Grand Final.
Big let off there. You thought Byron was a really good chance to get that one. Couldn't quite. Now the pressure's back on them to get it back. Arbin Danny with a long ball. That almost went towards the halfway point of Preston City Oval. We're on the outer side. Lovell tried to get a handball to Page. Got intercepted. Horsfield, 60 out from goal. Spearing ball to Owen. Now he takes the mark on the boundary. Daniel Owen. Be a tough kick here, but he's got the confidence to go back and say, I will have a shot. Daniel Owen, leading goal kicker for this Panthers side. It's been incredible, the 19-year-old. 60 majors this year. Coming right on the boundary. Now goes around the man on the mark. It's a high ball. It's not going to get there. It's punched through for a behind by Xavier Mitchell. And it's a second behind for the minor premiers. 2-2-14. Banyule are 4-6-30. We're 23 minutes into the first move.
He's looking very lively these last couple of minutes, Daniel Owen, and it's crucial for Eltham for him to get into this game. Leading goal kicker, and he set up plenty as well. So
Arbin Danny coming out of defence for the Bears. Finds Mitch Lovell. Takes a strong mark at on the half-back flank. Lovell now is going to pick off the inside kick and does find a teammate there. And it might be Josh Page. Yep. So Page now going to go further forward, but his kick comes off the side of the boot and finds an Eltham defender. Now going back for the Panthers. And a strong mark taken there by Minahan. His handball over the top. Can't find a teammate, but gets there on the bounce eventually. And now inside forward 50. And Merkel is there, takes the diving mark. Going out of bounds, and he'll have a shot on goal. He's going to go short and find a teammate further in, and that is Jason McCormick. And he will have a shot on goal from deep in the forward pocket.
So 11 goals in 6 Northern Knights games, Jason McCormick. He's been important for Eltham when he has played. Another one of these young guns that have really shown in Robert Hyde's best 22. Second game in 4 weeks. Of course, has missed the last 2 finals due to Knights duties. But has a chance to have an impact on this game if he hasn't already. McCormick will snap around with his right boot. He didn't get enough purchase on that as he would have liked, I reckon. And it's gone through for a behind. 2-3-15. Here's Eltham. Banyule are 4-6-30 while the kick out from Banyule is a poor one. Minahan, he just couldn't grab it properly. Carafa picking up the crumbs. Wisconsin spilled it. Carafa kept the run going, and then he kicked it straight to Montanaro. He couldn't complete the mark. Blackmore struggles off a tackle, and he wins the free kick anyway.
Probably could have taken the advantage.
I reckon he could have. He had numbers out wide.
So he's got it on his defensive 50-metre arc, goes down the ground and does find a teammate in the marking contest. And that is Lachlan Turner. He's going to go onto his right boot now and go inside forward 50. Lovell's presenting. He's going to fly at this one. Can't take the mark. He's going to present again and tap this one forward. And does almost find a teammate there in Aiden Danny, but the ball just beats him to the boundary line. And we'll have another ball in about 60 metres out from Banyule's goal.
If that had have landed for Aiden Danny, boys, you're not catching him from there. 50 metres out, no one around him, had plenty of space, and he would have been off. So they've got to try and slow him down when possible. Ball's thrown in 50-metre line for the Bears. Maley had 2 grabs at it, then handed it off to Horsfield, who sends it down the line near side. Didn't bounce well for Merkel or Owen, so spilled out to Nielsen and then just rushed the kick on his left boot. Out of bounds on the full, and they'll be resetting here. Almost true centre wing broadcast side. Beautiful day here at Preston City Oval. The rain has stayed away for this seniors grand final. A good crowd in as well, as it's a high ball towards half forward. Byron went in hard. Only had eyes for the football there. Jacob Mitchell will be wrapped up. And we'll have a ball up. Actually, Zach Sharp, we might get you down at boundary level. The conditions are really good at the moment. We know it's pretty windy at times at Preston City Oval. Is it really tracking towards one way, or is it not really affecting the contest?
I'll be honest, I haven't been able to feel the wind come towards this broadcast side. I still think it's going towards the outer side. So I think both the conditions are pretty good, and they're not really favouring either team at the moment. And I think you'd have to say Banyule playing it the best, where they've got 10 scoring shots to Eltham 5. So it'll be one to watch the weather. So
Woods tried to send the ball after taking a mark inside 50. He spilled it. Banyule have the numbers in their defensive half, and they were able to get it out, but not before it was intercepted on the flip by O'Sullivan. His handball wasn't great, and the Bears will regather numbers. Carafa, underground handball, almost picked up his own footy. Spilled outside to Main and then to Lowton, who's got a short ball out wide. It bounces short for Edwards, and he was never getting there in time. The ball will go out of bounds.
The pressure's just going up a notch now. I think every contest the hits are hard and players just aren't getting that clean touch on the ball, able to take it first time, and it's affecting the skill level. So the umpire throws the ball in, and it's going to be Maley jumping over the top, going to get that tap down, and the umpire will call for a secondary stoppage. So we're on the outer side here at Preston City Oval as the Rucks go at it again. Martin gets the tap down, and it almost fell for Carafa, but just can't get a hold on the ball, and it goes out of bounds.
So late stages here of this first quarter. It's a 15-point lead to the Bears, and it's more than likely they'll take that advantage heading into quarter time. Maley leapt high but didn't get any of the ball. It spilled out wide for Horsfield, who sends it high in the middle of Preston City Oval, and it was a strong mark taken by Riley Lowton. Plays on now, wants to continue down the ground. It was a dangerous kick, but it worked beautifully for Jacob Mitchell, who's 60 out from goal. Next question is, where does he go with the kick? He might go all the way himself. It's going to go right to the goal line. Pack forms. Kairou's out the back. No, claiming the mark, Kairouz.
Yeah, there is a mark.
James Kairou's takes the mark. There was about 6 to pick from, and he was somehow able to grab onto it. And I don't want to be...
Don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx him. That's what I was trying to look for. But he's at the top of the goal square here, James Kairouz. He's had 2 behinds and out of bounds on the full. And this is for the 19-year-old. Stamp his authority on the game. Comes in Kairouz, and that is not a problem. On the siren as well. So a big victory for Banyule in this first term. A round of applause from the Bears fans. And at quarter time, It's Banyule, 5-6-36. Eltham, 2-3-15. Now, the Bears, all individual goal kickers here to start this first term. K-Roos, of course, kicking one. Aidan Danny, Lockie Turner, Jack Langford, and Michael Edwards as well, all getting on the score sheet for the Panthers. It's the 2 goals, Josh Merkel and James Minahan getting on board. So, boys, it's been an entertaining start to this game and competitive at times, but I think Banyule are starting to run away with it early days in this grand final. How does it get stopped early?
Yeah, I think it gets stopped in midfield. They're just getting on top in there, and their defensive transition too from Banyule. It's been really good from them so far, and they need to stop. They need to shut that out, Eltham. It's I feel like it's a similar tale to last week. Lorimer, they got out to the quick start, and South Morang, they kicked the one goal. It's a big chance for Eltham to respond, and we know they can respond given how much talent that they had, and the fact that they only lost the one game during the season.
Well, I mean, you've got to look at Eltham last week, of course, Jared. You see the fact that they had a really strong last quarter, and that's what were able to get them over the line against Diamond Creek. I know it's very early days, but I don't think any side wants to be 21 points down at quarter time of a grand final. They've got the talent to come back, but I think they just need to control the ball a bit more.
Yeah, they definitely do, and I think what Robert Hyde's message will be is that, yeah, they probably got on top of us in the first quarter, did Banyule, but 21 points behind. Banyule had 11 scoring shots, didn't take their opportunities. Now the opportunity does come for Eltham to, when they do go forward, make the most of every time they go inside forward 50, get good scores on the board, get goals on the board, and they can come home strong. It is only quarter time. There's still 90 minutes of footy to be played, so there's a lot to like for Eltham in this first quarter, and they're still right in this.
Absolutely. They are taking a quick break here on coverage of the MC Labor Division 2 Grand Final. We hope you are enjoying the stream live on the NFNL Facebook page and, of course, on your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
88.6.
Turner got a handball inside 50. Spills to Carafa on the outer side. Centers the ball and it works. And
so Turner now coming in, basically no angle to speak of, and starts that one right, but does get it through eventually. The umpire really had to work for it.
He's got space to turn around. McCormick doesn't have too many options now. Got through his opponent beautifully, and Danny now sends a high ball. Glasgow's under this. Minahan's under this. Take your pick. Off some games for Northern Knights, Jason McCormick, as Minahan comes in and gets a much-needed one for the minor premiers. The 21-year-old kicks his 10th goal to see. Sends it down the line. Bouncing ball inside 50. It fooled Sinclair. Going in hard was K-Roos. Got a handball out to Danny. Danny from 40 metres out. Excellent football from Banyule. Goal square. Weatherald goes out wide. Minahan came in and took a good grab.
Kick down the ground. Going to go towards 50. Merkel's there. Gets just pushed under the ball. Goes inside forward 50. Lovell's there. K-Roos is there. Snaps towards goal. And just another one has gone through his right boot and goes inside forward 50, but a strong mark taken there, and it was Bailey Mills.
Field had to get rid of it quickly, just did towards Owen. He landed in front of him, and Owen takes a nice mark. 55 out from goal. Daniel Owen sees what he likes in Byron, and Byron on the second grab takes the mark. MC Labor Division 2 Grand Final live on your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM, and streaming live on the NFNL Facebook page. It's quarter time here at Preston City Oval, and it is the Bears that have a strong start to this game. 5-6-36. Eltham 2-3-15. Giacomo Bruno, you've been following this league all season long. It's definitely the two best sides in the competition playing off in today's decider, but it's the Bears that look the goods at the moment.
Yeah, well, they got the better of the Panthers first time around in the semi-final. Looks like they've got off to a brilliant start and could make it 2 from 2. 11 scoring shots in the opening quarter, making full use of having to score an end and kicking with the wind.
What's been most impressive for you for the Bears so far? Has there been a particular player that's stood out to you, or is it just the way they're moving the football?
It's the way they're moving the footy, just the spread of goal kickers. 5 goals, 5 different goal kickers, and it just goes to show that they've got plenty of firepower down in that forward 50.
So what did the Panthers have to do defensively? We heard Sinclair came off for a little bit of that first term and was having some strapping done, but do you think they can get a hold of him in this second quarter?
I think they've got to go more man on man. They want to play that zone defence, and it's done really well for them for most of the year, and they've done really well for it last week against Diamond Creek. Absolute brick wall last week and didn't concede too many goals, so they might just have to go more man on man and play some more lockdown defence.
We'll go down to ground level. Zach Sharp is joining us. You were at one of the huddles at quarter time. What was the message down there?
Yeah, I was just at the Banyule quarter-time huddle, and they were just talking about making sure that the outside run from the midfielders was has to be a little bit better this quarter. I think they were just not happy with how Eltham were able to get a bit of transition from the outside of clearances and contests. So I think it was just tightening that up, but pretty happy. And Devin McDonald, as soon as the siren went, really got the whole team into a huddle and probably just trying to pump them up and let them know that this game's not even close to being over, even though they've got a really handy 21-point lead. And
Josh, you were listening to Rob Hyde at quarter time. Wouldn't have been too impressed, I could imagine.
Yeah, he was a little angry, mainly at his defence. He needed them to tighten up down back. He was really disappointed. He was impressed with the transition and the movement from out the centre clearances, but he said to try and make it surge footy, make it chaos footy as well if it's necessary, because they're on top at ground level as well. But he was a little angry, but pretty composed as well. Just he asked his defence to tighten it up, and it's fair enough too. They were a bit leaky in that first quarter, I felt, the Panthers defence.
Man that knows how to win grand finals. Robert Hyde, 3-time premiership coach with Greensboro, a 3-time premiership NAB League coach with the Calder Cannons, and he'll be leading his troops again for the second term of the grand final in Division 2.
So the ball thrown up. It doesn't, neither ruckman able to get a tap on it. It hits Martin's head as now it comes down to ground level, and there's a big pack of players forming on top of this one, and the umpire will call for, no, he's actually not going to call for a ball up. He's going to call a free kick, and it is going to go to Riley Lowton. So he gives the handball off now, and a kick inside or towards forward 50 for Banyule, and can't find a teammate on the full and will just trickle towards the boundary line. And it is Valence, it looks like there, who'll rush it over his opponent, Lachlan Turner. Neither one able to get a clean possession. The umpire will throw it in about 55, 60 metres out from Banyule's goal.
Big crowd here at Preston City Oval. The hill is full. It's great to see Preston City Oval full again. It's Riley Lowton that couldn't grab that one. We'll have a secondary stoppage.
And it's been a great day already for both of these sides. Both these clubs have actually won a premiership already. Banyule winning the under-19s and Eltham winning the reserves. So a bit of success already. Who come out on the top in the seniors?
It's going to be cleared here by the Panthers. Avramov had some time to get this ball down the line. One-on-one here for Merkel. Went over the head of him and Biscontin. Foot race now. Merkel just grabs it and puts it onto his left boot. Sends it towards the forward pocket. No one grabbing that one. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a throw in deep inside 54 to the Panthers, who trail by 21 points. It's crazy. In their 17 weeks, they've only trailed at quarter time twice. I believe in their last 3, they've now trailed at quarter time. So it hasn't been great for them at the moment, but grand finals, anything can happen as umpire prepares to toss this ball back into play. We're deep inside forward 50 for the Panthers. Byron got 2 hands on it. It spills around. Horsfield just got boots of ball. Didn't get any purchase on the kick. It's spilled out wide and Nielsen gets the clearances. They get it towards half back. It didn't bounce for any of the players chasing it. Eventually the boundary line wins and the ball will again go out of bounds, this time on the outer side. Forward 50 for the Panthers.
So it's a big opportunity for Eltham to get a score on the board early in this second quarter. We might see if this market end is a scoring end today, if Eltham can put on a show here in this second term, as Martin gets a tap down but can't find a teammate. Now a kick out of that stoppage and almost taking the mark. There was the Banyule player, but it just trickles over the boundary line in front of the scoreboard here at Preston City Oval. 2.5 minutes played, second quarter.
Zach Sharp at ground level, what have you got for us?
Just speaking of the market end, I think the wind has started to pick up to go towards that one side, so wouldn't be surprised if Eltham are able to kick themselves back into this game purely because of the wind advantage they have this quarter.
So Banyule did win the toss and choose to kick towards the market end, but they do get the clearance in their own defensive 50. Bounce well for Lovell, then he slipped over, still managed to get a handball inboard. It spills out to Carafa, who evaded a tackler, almost did a second, but still got the handball out wide to Lover, who kept his width. Handballed backwards to Farcione, who sends it down the line. Didn't work for his teammates, but they did really well to get a tackle in there, did the Bears, and eventually the ball goes out of bounds, and they're just getting numbers at the contest here, boys. It's working for them so far.
They are, and that's what they needed, Banyule, to really cap off this game. They've been really good on the outside, but it's just been that inside where Eltham, I felt, they've done pretty well, but they're starting to tighten up in there.
As the throw goes back in, Martin just backhands it forward for the Bears, and running onto it is Blackmore. He just rides the bump but loses the ball. As now coming through for Banyule and looking to go inside forward 50 once again. Eltham player looking to hurdle over his opponent. Levels at the bottom of the pack. He gets a handball out, and it just goes over the boundary line. So they've gained some good meterage here in this passage of play, have it Banyule. but they're still 60 metres out from goal.
I think, considering what we heard from Zach about the marking end, I think if the Bears can limit Eltham's scoring in this quarter, that's going to be the perfect setup for them if they want to attack the second half. They could see him win the premiership. It spills out the back for Horsfield. 2 Banyule players straight to him. Another ball up, out of side, in the forward half of the Bears. Maley didn't time the jump well, meant Martin could just get the tap. He was looking for Page, spilled to Carafin, and Martin just picks the ball up again. High ball, but not a long ball. It gets towards 55, out from goal, bouncing around. Danny got a tap forward for Xavier Mitchell. These are 2 speed demons. He was caught high, Xavier Mitchell. And he will win the free kick, still in his forward half for Banyule. Call to play on. Sends it high towards the turner direction. Langford's there as well. Got a hand on it. Wichinga close to him. Langford still keeping the ball in front of him. Still kept it in play. Langford did really well to centre it. Went over the head of Lovell. Furlong has time to assess where to go. Goes to a man who wanted the handball receive. And then is Lovell going to be caught here for the late bump? He is. Yes. So he was intercepted by Jacob Mitchell. But a late bump from Mitch Lovell after his opponent got rid of the football means it remains in Eltham's grasp.
That's poor from Mitch Lovell as well. Not necessary at all.
And just a bit of a let off for Eltham as the kick goes forward. Not able to take the mark there as Bell Chambers, and a free kick has been paid for a high tackle. At the bottom of this pack is Riley Lowton. He's going to look to move it on quickly and handballs over to a teammate there in Farchione. Goes inside towards Langford. Can't take the mark. Running onto this one could be Edwards. Just needs to pick it up cleanly. Doesn't. There's 3 Eltham defenders there. Wichinga just gets a handball off to a teammate, but his kick tackled by Edwards goes out of bounds. And the umpire will throw it back in. So inside Banyule's forward 50. A bit of a let off a couple of seconds ago for the Panthers, but now it's deep in the Banyule's attack. And can they get their first goal of the second quarter on the board?
Maley and Langford go at it. Goes over the head of both ruckmen. Going in at all fours is Lowton. And umpire's hovering. He reckons he dragged it in, and that's exactly what it will be. Holding the ball. Goes the way of the Panthers. Avramov has it in his defensive 50. Sends it out wide. Merkel's going to have to beat 2. Martin came in late. Got a hand onto it. Mitchell didn't pick it up well. Spilled backwards. Now an opportunity for Bell Chambers. Just got boot to ball as he was tackled and intercepted as in the process. Devon McDonald, the captain of this Bears team, goes towards half forward. Langford, Maley at the front, takes a good mark. Got a good leap as well.
It's been on show today, that leap of his.
Oh, but the kick was poor. Out of bounds on the 4, and you don't see that too often from Finbar Maley.
I'm just not even sure who that kick was to. The player who was closest to it had his back to it, so not sure if there was just miscommunication there as Banyule looking to go inside forward 50. And a long kick, Lovell's there, but Maley's going to take the mark once again, the intercept. And he's just going to go with the handball this time as going out of defensive 50 for Eltham, but the kick almost intercepted there by the Banyule player, but a kick forward, it might be Sirianni, can't quite tell, kicks it inside forward 50. Byron's there for Eltham. He's tracked by his opponent in Davies. Byron just can't get a clean possession there, and it has been tracked out of bounds. So the umpire will throw it in. So we've gone down the other end. We're inside Eltham's forward 50 now, 7 minutes into this second quarter, and a big chance for the Panthers.
It was Minahan that got the kick inside 50. And it was a chance, but the bounce just didn't work for any of his teammates as Martin got the tap forward, and we'll have another ball up, and they're just sensing a goal here, Eltham, but they do need this sooner rather than later. They trail by 21 points. Martin almost grabbed it out of the ruck. It spilled to Lowton. Got a handball out to Blackmore Moore. Lowton was called high. Umpire says he's going to pay advantage. Yes, he did pay advantage, and the ball went out of bounds, so it means we're going to have a throw in here.
That's a big win for Eltham. A massive one at that as well.
They have to make the most of it, though. You'd think Josh is, again, a two-handed tap from Martin. Spilled to Carafa, and the Bears get the clearance again. It's not a great one, though. Goes down the line. Tough for Langford to grab as he was set upon by 2 Eltham defenders. Ball goes out of bounds. How can Eltham make the most of this opportunity? They're doing well to limit Banyule scoring, but they're not getting any shots on goal themselves.
I just think they need to get speed inside 50. Most inside 50s have been rushed and a little bit slow. They need to get it inside 50 quickly, like they did before with those practically 2 kicks from defensive 50. If they can do that, it allows Byron to get into open space and small forwards like you, Daniel Owens and Jason McCormick's to crumb it and create goals.
So the ruck contest here is going to be wrapped up once again. Tim Martin's at the bottom of that pack, so is Ruben Blackmore for Banyule. Defensive side of the wing for Banyule with his contest. Martin gets a tap over his head. And it's taken there by a teammate, but he's wrapped up straight away by 2 Eltham players. And we'll have another stoppage. So just a bit of a lull here in the scoring after a big first quarter for both sides. Just looking to break this deadlock early in this second quarter as the kick forward for Eltham. Finds a teammate there and now a kick inside forward before the Panthers. Byron's there, or Merkel's there, sorry, can't take the mark. And it's just wrapped up once again. A high free kick has been paid and it is going to go to Banyule, it looks like. So a bit of a let off for the Bears. And inside defensive 50, and going to look to rebound here.
So McDonald, short ball, finds a teammate in Farcione in the back pocket. So just slowing things down here, doesn't really know where to go, Farcione. Called to play on, down the line, no one able to get a hand onto it, spills out the back here, and they send it back in, Eltham. And I think he was out of bounds when he went to kick it, was the Eltham man, so we're going to have a ball up here. We're on the outer side. We've played 10 minutes into this second term, and the scores have not changed since quarter time. We had a 7-goal first term, but we are yet to get any additions here in the second. Martin got the tap down, and was again looking for Blackmore more, and again we'll have another stoppage. I reckon Martin's gone to Blackmore more than any other midfielder on his side. It seems to be a regular occurrence with those two. They've got a great dynamic.
So Martin now getting the tap once again. And a handball over the top for Banyule. So Xavier Mitchell's going to get this one. Can't take it on the first bounce. Gets it eventually. Now just storms through the middle of the ground. Takes a bounce. And has got 2 Eltham defenders in his wake. So Mitchell now going inside forward 50. Langford, the easiest mark he's going to take. His opponent, Wachinga, just slipped over. And Jack Langford is going to have a shot on goal. Xavier Mitchell comes to the bench through applause from his teammates. And that was a fantastic run through the middle of the ground to set up this shot.
He's had a really good game, Xavier Mitchell. And that was probably his best moment, setting up Jack Langford. Yeah, poor Luke Wachinga as well. Just had to have a little bit of a slip there and give Jack Langford a big chance.
Looking for goal number 2 this afternoon. Jack Langford, 6 goals in his last 2 Eltham games. He can get his second to average it out. He's missed that. To the left. Did not like that at all. And almost over the top of the point post. Is it behind? Or goal post, I should say. 5-7-37 Banyule. Eltham 2-3-15. And Xavier Mitchell, boys, that was very impressive. Had 4 to beat, really. They were all chasing him. They were never going to get on top as the Panthers still under pressure. The run starts though. Valance has gone all the way up to centre wing and he will almost receive the football. It's going to go to his teammate though, who goes towards half forward. Merkel wasn't in front, but Trufelt will see it over. We'll have a ball up at half forward inside Eltham's forward 50. We're 12 minutes into the second term. They trail by 22 points. They haven't been able to get a goal on the board since the 14-minute mark of this first term. Ball gets tossed back in. It's Martin and Minahan doing the work. It fell short for Martin, got a handball out. Landed for Bell Chambers though, so went to track back, got it over to Minahan and he sends it towards the goal line, out of bounds on the full. And wasting opportunities here to Panthers at the moment.
They're failing to hit targets as well. It's been really poor going inside 50 from Eltham. Just there before, they had a big chance and they failed to hit the target. And Minahan, that's not the greatest kick.
So coming out of defence is Banyule. Big pack of players fly. It's going to come down for Eltham. Now inside forward 50 and the mark is taken there. And it is Owen. So he'll have a shot on goal for his first of the day. And a much needed one for Eltham. The first of this second quarter for either side. As there's a couple of players just having a chat on the half forward flank for the Panthers.
Just a nice chat. Jackson Weatherald as well. That was that ball. He got that ball inside 50. He needs to get it more inside 50. He is a very talented player. Is Jackson Weatherald.
So as Owen comes in and he's going to be marched to the goal line. Not sure what that one was for, but
might have been some of that niggle you were talking about earlier there, Jared.
Might have been. So Daniel Owen's going to put this one through. And it's a gift for Eltham. He might as well have kicked it anyway, but just to make sure of it, goes to the goal line, and Eltham now 3 goals, 3-21. Trail Banyule 5-7-37. 13 and a half minutes into this second quarter. Might just be the spark they need, the Panthers.
I was going to say as well, it probably is the spark, and the spark for Daniel Owen too. He looked threatening that first quarter, and he gets into the game here. I reckon he could be set for a massive second quarter and maybe the rest of the game even.
Sometimes you need gifts in games, let alone grand finals. It could be what Eltham need, as we've mentioned, but it's the Bears that win the clearances. Sunshine Bays, Preston City Oval. Lovell tried to keep it in front of him. Sullivan chasing him. That's O'Sullivan, rather. And both men happy to see that ball go out of bounds. We are 55 out from the Banyule goal. They've been able to respond well to Eltham's shots on goal as of late. 2 minutes max after Eltham goals today. Have Banyule been able to get one back themselves? Langford got the tap, went out the back to Maley, who caught Lowton high. Bit sloppy there from the youngster Lowton. Short ball, almost worked for his teammate. Probably wasn't the best option. Eltham had the numbers, and they'll win the free kick. Weatherall wants to get this moving. Finds Woods in the middle. Handball over to Valance, who continues his run. Now wants to go on the outer side. Kick's dangerous here for Furlong. Has to bounce onto it. Working hard is Mitchell, and the boundary line beats him. And that's another missed opportunity from the minor premiers. Oh.
And just gives Banyule a shot here as the umpire will toss the ball in. Forward of centre wing for the Bears. It is going to be Kai Davies doing the ruck work for the Bears and can't get the tap down. But now Eltham looking to go forward once again. The ball just bounces poorly for the Eltham player, and now going for Banyule. Steps around an opponent. Now back to Davies. His handball backwards even further, but now a kick inside or towards forward 50.
Oh, good mark.
And a strong mark taken there on the half-back flank for the Panthers.
O'Sullivan it was that took it. Short to Furlong. Call to play on, doesn't know where to go. They have to go backwards here again. Weatherall under extreme pressure from Page, who just stuck a tackle onto him and just got a handball away, but it's intercepted. The ball will go out of bounds for a throw-in. Zach Sharps at ground level. We have an injury update from the minor premiers.
The Eltham trainers are getting a workout today. They've had two more little niggles that they've had to deal with. Montanaro has his right hamstring strapped up. He's about to come back out. He looks fine. Lane Sinclair came off and got his quad re-strapped, but looked a bit groggy, but he's out there and he's okay.
K-Roos missing. Sorry, Zach, had to interrupt you there, but an excellent shot on goal. Another behind for James K-Roos. 1 goal, 3 for the afternoon. The Bears move to 5-8-38. Eltham 3-3-21. Thanks for the update, Zach Sharp. So Valance has it at half-back. Call to play on. He's on the near side. Doesn't know where to go. Handball inboard sloppy. McCormick can back up it, and he's set upon. Strong tackle from Yogi, and the umpire says he pushed him in the back. McCormick at half-back. Wants to go down the middle of the ground, but it was dropped by his teammate. Panthers under extreme pressure here. Yogi again in the back.
That one was in the back. The first one I'm not too sure about, but Eltham now going to have a kick. Defensive side of the centre circle. It's going to be Harvey Furlong with this one. And just going to assess his options up the ground. And going to go to this broadcast side. Martin's there for Banyule. Can't take the mark, and it's just going to trickle out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in.
I'm amazed Eltham didn't turn it over there and Banyule didn't go inside 50. That's remarkable.
Heat's just been turned up in this one a notch. It's a 17-point advantage to the Bears. Umpire will toss the ball. We're 70-75 out from the Panthers' goal. Rucks go at it. Martin got the tap, looking for Yogi, went over him. Avramov on all fours, trying to get it out. They wrestle between them, and the umpire will call for it at the corner of the centre square. We are 17.5 minutes into the second term. It's a lead of 17 points to Banyule. Martin getting the tap over to smaller Ayres. Martin got the ball back, and again we'll have another stoppage in the same spot, still with the same lead intact.
So one Banyule can exploit here as Martin punches one further forward for the Bears, and a good spin out of that contest there through Montanaro. His handball to a teammate just misses and will go out of bounds. So right in front of the Eltham bench, and the umpire will throw it back in.
I don't know if it's the pressure or another factor, but they're fumbling a lot here, the Panthers. They haven't been able to get clean football.
I think it's perceived pressure as well. Banyule's pressure has been really good, but it's equally been perceived pressure.
Weatherall inside 50. Ooh. Going in hard was Merkel. He's on the ground. Slow to get up. Woods is there. He was met upon. Got a handball out wide. It missed Avramov. Weatherall was backing up. Got through two opponents. Weatherall on 50. Wants to center the ball, and it works. No, dropped the mark. Was his teammate. And the Bears will exit defensive 50 quickly. They go out wide. Aiden Danny takes it.
Just another one of those moments that you spoke about. It wasn't an easy mark. He was diving for it, but just wasn't able to get that perfect hold onto it. As now a quick kick forward through Danny. Lovell's sitting under it, but flying over the top is a teammate there, and Lachlan Turner can't take the mark. Valence's kick is smothered. Blackmore Moore's going to grab it. He's set upon straight away by an opponent, and is going to be driven into the ground, and is going to be holding the ball. Just didn't make an attempt to get rid of it once he was tackled.
He thought it was more than 15. Umpire said it wasn't, so that's the reaction from the Bears crowd there as Declan Ayres has it at half-back. Wants to go down the line with this kick. 2-on-1 for the Bears, and Martin wins out, so they turn it over straight away here. Eltham, it's been a fallacy of their game this afternoon, but the Bears are going to give it back to them out of bounds on the full.
Yeah,
so some mistakes coming up here between both sides, and they're going to go back here. Avramov will have it through centre wing broadcast side, and they'll reset the minor premiers. They trail by 17 points as we tick towards time on in this grand final. Wants to go inboard, but backwards. Dropped by Sinclair. Works for K. Roos. He's got no one in front of him. Just decides to kick it to space. Nobody there. It's going to bounce almost back to the same position. And it's punched by Langford, who tries to keep it in, but he can't. K. Roos could have gone to the races there. But he just wanted to get the ball inside 50. Nobody around. And again, the fumbling Sinclair had nobody around him, and he drops the simplest of marks.
Go for broke, James Kyrus. You got to go for broke from there. Don't just chip it up in the air.
As the ruck contest, Langford gets tapped down. Ayres is going to rove it, and going to be tackled straight away by Joshua Page of Banyule. So the umpire will call for a secondary stoppage. Basically, right on the paint of 50 metres is going to be Langford and Ayres going at it once again. Langford jumps over the top, gets a tap down in the Blackmore Moore direction. Going into it is the Eltham midfielder, gets the handball out to Declan Ayres, and he's wrapped up once again.
We'll go down to ground level. Zach Sharp, we have an injury update here in regards to Lachlan Turner from the Bears.
He was coming off, and either it was a rotation or he's forced himself off. He was holding his back and complaining to the trainer. They've got him straight down, laying on his stomach, and they're giving it a rub now. Probably seizing up there, but it's not one you want in a grand final where you've got a back that's seizing up.
Sirianni had to get boots of ball. Unfortunately for the Panthers, they went down for a free kick. So we're going.
I think they're
going to go back to the start.
Yeah, I think it was in the tackle. So
Sullivan's going to have it though. So interesting, but. That's a big blow for Turner. He was leaped for a few marks today, Lockie Turner, but just hasn't been able to get anything going.
Yeah, it has been an exciting one. As now Cameron Sullivan's going to have this kick at half-back for Eltham. Just going to go with a short one and find a teammate there in Sinclair. Still last line of defence. So Sinclair now goes to the outer side here at Preston City Oval, and the Panthers just going to work this one up the ground. Finds O'Sullivan. His kick towards forward 50. A pack of players flying towards it. Mitchell gets the punch in for Banyule, and there's an Eltham player slow to get up.
Is that Merkel? It might be.
It is Merkel, so just got a crunch in that big pack contest, but the ball has gone out of bounds, so umpire to throw it back in right in front of the Cramers Hotel sign here. Market End, Preston City Oval. And throws the ball back in now. Maley and Martin going at it once again. Neither ruckman able to get a clear tap, but Maley's doing the roving work himself. Now Owen gets a quick snap out of that contest. Merkel just puts a foot to it and stops it for his teammate. And he's going to get it once again, trying to get a handball out. And it's just going to go towards the boundary line. Martin's going to be the first one to it. And it's going to be another ball in front of the scoreboard here.
Big chance here for Eltham, I reckon. Banyule haven't scored yet this term, and if the Panthers can sneak one here before half-time, they'll be very confident heading into the main break as Rucks will get ready to go at it again. We are inside 50 for the Panthers, 45 out from goal. We look like Avramov doing some ruck work here against Tim Martin. Don't know how that's going to work out. Just as you would expect, Martin getting the tap. Ball goes forward of centre. Lowton went in hard, rode a couple of bumps. Furlong went with the dummy, then sends it high towards the goal line. Byron's going to have to beat a couple in the air, but it goes out of bounds on the full, says the umpire. And the Bears will reset. Another missed opportunity here for the Panthers as they'll take it out by hand. Xavier Mitchell had Yoji short, and then Xavier Mitchell went out of bounds on the full with the kick, so the decision-making there was poor. And it means it's going back into the arms of Luke Sirianni. Called to play on. Spearing ball inside 50 was too low for Byron. McCormick running it through. Has a couple of options inside. Owen snaps towards goal and is missed to the right. The fans behind him thought it was home. But Owen has kicked at points. They move to 3-4-22. Banyule, a 5-8, 38. We are 23 and a half into the second quarter.
This is a big couple of minutes for Eltham. This will define if they can really get back into this contest. They are in it, but they need to get back in it. But that's a poor kick.
The kick out of defence goes out on the full for the Bears. So Eltham with another opportunity. We have played just about 24 minutes in this second quarter.
It's gone over the signage here.
But with only the one goal being kicked, it might be a shorter one. As you said, Josh, the ball has gone over the signage, so almost gets back over, but just still trying to get this ball back into Preston City Oval.
In the meantime, boys, as we're waiting for it to come back, what has to get? No, I'll start again. What needs to go right in this Eltham forward 50, boys? Because they just seem to be fumbling a lot. There's no cohesion going on at the moment. We'll work out what I guess the process is at the moment. They go inside 50 again. It's off hands from Minahan. No one got there. Umpire will call for a ball up.
I think sometimes you almost just need a moment of brilliance, and it's an easy one to say because it's nothing they can do structurally, but sometimes they might just need a Daniel Owen or one of those players just to have one great moment and kick an outstanding goal.
So umpires hold play, so another footy, maybe? That one not up to standard? But
yeah, I'm not sure what that...
So I don't know if it was a new footy or if they've regained the one that went over the fence, but nonetheless, we have a football in play. We're back in the middle. It's Minahan able to get the tap. Did really well over Martin and a shot on goal. Bouncing and on the full again. Plenty of on the fulls today, boys. It's been interesting. That's what pressure does to you in a grand final, Josh.
Particularly in these last couple of minutes. And just back to your point about what Eltham need to do, get it in quickly inside 50. As I said before, they need to get it in quick inside 50 if they are to, create good chances.
As the kick out of defensive 50 finds Yoji, who flies across the pack and takes a strong mark there. So Yoji now just looking forward, the short kick. Edwards is going to take that one. Oh. The umpire was right there, so he's going to call it out of bounds on the full. And James Minahan's going to have an opportunity for Eltham to send the Panthers inside at forward 50. Byron's presenting it. This one just goes over his head, and it's going to be cleaned up by the Banyule defender, who's wrapped up by Byron, and it's going to be holding the ball. So Byron with a shot on goal for the Panthers at the 26-minute mark of this second quarter, to bring it back to a 10-point game heading into half-time.
Missed a simpler one in the first term, Matty Byron, and he's in a similar spot just on the other side of the ground, of course. And, well, this to get it to 10 points, as you said, Jared, it'd be massive, I think, for the Panthers to keep Banyule goalless for the quarter and to pinch two themselves heading into half-time will be massive for the minor premiers as Byron will start his approach. 19 goals this year in just 12 games. Has missed a few, especially early in the season due to injury, but needs this one. Byron, he's hooked it again, missing to the left. And they move to 3-5-23 to Panthers. Banyule, 5-8-38. We are 26.5 into the second term. That's another let-off.
Yeah, he really did need to kick that, Matthew Byron. That was a massive chance, but they're missing chances now, Eltham, and Banyule, I reckon they'll be thanking their lucky stars that they've only conceded one because Eltham have had the better quarter, and they might still lead heading into half-time. They probably will, in fact.
So as the ball works its way out to centre wing for the Bears here, a quick kick forward, and Edwards is going to be there. Can't take it on the half volley, and it's just going to go back inside. Now it's going to find Blackmore Moore. He goes inside forward 50,
good vision,
and the mark is taken there. Is that one of the Dunny brothers on the outer side? Can't quite make it out, but a kick into the pocket, and Blackmore Moore presents again. And he takes the mark deep in the forward pocket for Banyule with a shot on goal here. So it could be a massive turnaround for the Bears after almost conceding that goal up the other end. So transition now, Blackmore Moore will step up.
Knows how to kick him, Ruben Blackmore Moore. 18 goals this year in 13 games. Wants to go for the drop punt.
So he's going to open up the angle a little bit. He does go the drop punt and does kick it towards goal. It's going to go right across the face and does eventually come off hands and go out of bounds. So still in a very dangerous position for Banyule late in this second quarter. Umpire right up next to the point post and throws it back in here. Tim Martin's going to get a snap over his head and just almost gets to the goal line, but a slight touch there through Lane Sinclair means it goes through for a rush behind. So Banyule moved to 5-9-39 leading Eltham 3-5, 23.
Long quarter here for a term that's only had one major as the Panthers move it out of defensive 50.
We did lose the ball for a little bit as well.
Very true. Short ball to Wachinga. Has Furlong out wide. Uses him. Gets through an opponent. Sends it down the line. Pack forms. Langford's going back with the flight. Off hands. Spills out the back for Nielsen. Minahan trying to get onto this as well. Nielsen set upon hard by Minahan. And umpire will call for a ball up.
I think
55
that's
out.
a very smart move for Banyule through Paul Harris and Ricky Dyson to send Langford back in defence for this last 5 minutes. He's played that swingman role for McLeod in the past.
Nailey got hands on it, couldn't complete the grab. Umpire will call for another ball up. I agree. I think he's a team of the year defender as well.
Yeah, he reads
Jack
the ball,
Langford.
reads the ball so well in defence. Got a booming kick out of that half back line. So just pop him in the hole, and it's going to be hard for Eltham to get past him as Martin gets a tap down and follows his own ruck work. Gets tackled straight away, and the umpire will call for it. So we're inside Eltham's forward 50 now. 29 minutes played, second quarter. Siren could go any second, so a big chance for Eltham. Martin taps it backwards. The Eltham player there in Harvey Furlong is set upon by Xavier Mitchell. And we're going to get another ball up.
Almost right on the 50. Payton in Eltham colours. Maley tried to gain some meterage. Tapped backwards to Avramov. Just got boot to ball to the hot spot. Byron again has to beat a couple in the air. And then got front and centre was Woods. Now in trouble there is Main. Just got a foot onto the ball. High ball was almost intercepted by Valance. And then they can start a run here. Banyule. Blackmore more. Handball out wide to Faccioni. Won't get there. And again the ball goes out of bounds. And there goes the siren for half time in the MC Labour Division 2 Grand Final. And despite only there being one goal in the term, it has been a fascinating matchup here at Preston City Oval. It's the Bears that still hold their lead heading into the main break. 5-9-39 Banyule. Eltham 3-5-23. Daniel Owen, the only goal scorer in the term coming for the Panthers. That came at the 13-minute mark. And I think Banyule will still be very impressed with how that term went. I know they didn't kick any goals themselves, but if the wind has been as accurate as Zach Sharp has pointed out to us at times, then I'm sure they'll be impressed with that one. But they still take the lead. And speaking of Zach Sharp, let's head to him on the boundary now. Oh, we'll just wait for him to get his mic sorted.
I'm here. I'm ready. Okay. No, really good. It was really competitive quarter. As you see, Banyule coming off first, and Eltham are just stuck in a huddle there, probably talking about all those missed opportunities they had, which I was going to speak about. You know, they put themselves in really good positions, the Panthers, to try and get back in this game and get in front, and weren't able to capitalise. But you got to give credit to Banyule's stingy defence. They were able to stand tall under pressure a lot, and I just feel as though this wind, as I said earlier, was starting on that outer side. Being heavily dominant, then moved to the market end, and it's swirling around because then it started coming to the broadcast end. So this wind is going to be hard to I guess, to track all game today, and I don't think it'll determine the result for the team, for either team to win the flag today, but it'll be a big contributor.
Thanks for that, Zach. I think what that means, boys, is that they've just got to make the most of it when the wind maybe is in their favour, even if it's not necessarily swirling towards either end of the goals. I think it's going to be really important for them to make the most of those entries inside 50, which Eltham haven't really done at the moment, Josh.
No, it's been, I have to admit, pretty poor entry inside 50. They've just been pretty reckless, and you know, when they have hit targets, and usually it's Matthew Byron, he's missed a couple of chances as well, and they miss chances late on as well. That will come back, it could come back to haunt them. And yeah, it is a fascinating game. Eltham is still in this. They need a really good start to this second half, though.
Who have been some of your better players before we head to our halftime break? Boys, a couple from either side really standing out in this decider.
I'll go with Banyule first, and Xavier Mitchell has played a very good game, had a very good passage of play to get a kick to Jack Langford in that second quarter. Langford unable to convert. Tim Martin, I reckon, is my best on ground pick right now. I think he's just been so dominant in the middle of the ground. His ruck work, his follow up, he's just done so much for Banyule. Ruben Blackmore Moore's been a good one. Riley Lowton got into the game a little bit more in that second quarter. Both the Danny brothers. Jack Langford's been good. Mickey Edwards, another one for Eltham. They probably haven't had any players who have stood out across both quarters. They've had a couple of players who were good in the first quarter, a couple who were good in the second. Daniel Owen was good in the first quarter, but probably didn't have a major impact in that second term. Jackson Weatherall's been good in parts. Josh Merkel's been all right up forward. Daniel Horsfield has had a couple of good moments. Finbar Maley's done pretty well in the ruck going up against a guy like Tim Martin. But Martin, as I said, has probably just got the chocolates in that matchup.
Josh,
so far.
Josh.
Definitely no arguments there. I think Jackson Witherell in that second quarter in particular, he started playing higher up and creating more chances inside 50. He needs to play higher up and create those chances because he's got a booming left foot and he is a really smart player. He has that experience at the top level with Baldwin in the Eastern Footy League, and he's played plenty of Division 1 games with Eltham as well in the past. He needs to get into this game a bit more, and he did just that in that second quarter. And yeah, Finbar Maley needs to step it up in ruck because Tim Martin, I reckon he's probably been best on ground so far. I've been really impressed with the Danny brothers as well. Whenever they've had the ball, they've just looked threatening and look like they want to burst away from the pack, and that's a trade of them. They just love to use that speed. They're going to have a big second half, I reckon. It's
half time here in the MC Labour Division 2 Grand Final. It's Banyule 5-9-39, Eltham 3-5-23. Don't go anywhere. A massive second half coming up. You're watching the MC Labour Division 2 Grand Final courtesy of our live stream on the NFNL Facebook page and of course on your local station 88.6 Plenty Valley FM.